Did you know that one very common type of cheese can double your risk of a heart attack, even if your test results are perfect? It may sound like an exaggeration, but unfortunately, it's not. This type of cheese is in the refrigerators of many people over 60. It's on breakfast rolls, on afternoon toast, and seems harmless. But behind its creamy flavor and soft texture, there may be a silent danger lurking for your heart and brain. And the worst part, you only find out when it's too late. A 67-year-old woman, active, who walked every day and had regular checkups, suffered a sudden stroke, and her cardiologist pointed to an unexpected culprit: the cheeses she had been eating for years, thinking they were healthy. You might be making the same mistake without even knowing it. But there's good news. There's one type of cheese that helps protect your bones, boosts your memory, and even helps prevent cholesterol spikes. Want to know which to avoid and which one to choose? Then stay with me until the end, because this information could literally save your life or someone you love. Now pay close attention. If you're over 50, subscribe to the channel now and turn on notifications. Every week, I share alerts like this, things you'll never hear on TV or at your local clinic. Leave a like so this message reaches more people your age. It could be the difference between a peaceful breakfast and a silent heart attack. And comment below, what kind of cheese do you have in your fridge? It might seem trivial, but that one comment could open your eyes to something serious. But be warned, if you watch without subscribing, there's a big chance you'll miss the next alert. And it might be about something that's already silently happening inside your body. In this video, you'll discover the 4 cheeses that support your health, and the 4 that should be eliminated from your diet immediately if you want to protect your cardiovascular, digestive, and even cognitive health. We're talking about foods that go far beyond flavor. Some cheeses contain natural compounds with anti-inflammatory properties, help absorb essential nutrients, and even reduce markers of premature aging. Others, however, are full of synthetic additives, quietly disrupt your hormones, and contribute to the slow breakdown of your arteries. And most importantly, no one is talking clearly about this. The industry won't warn you. And many healthcare professionals overlook critical details about how the type of cheese you eat could be the deciding factor between healthy aging and accelerated degeneration. Get ready to see this everyday food through a new lens, one grounded in science, biochemistry, and its real impact on your body. First, we'll present the 4 cheeses you can and should keep in your routine. Then, the 4 cheeses that deserve an immediate red flag. What you're about to hear isn't guesswork or personal opinion. It's all based on peer-reviewed studies, solid clinical data, and cutting-edge research in functional nutrition and healthy aging. Most people have never had access to this information because it's not in the headlines, and it's rarely discussed in depth in doctors' offices. Just to give you an example, a study published in the Journal of Nutritional Biochemistry showed that regularly consuming aged and fermented cheeses can boost levels of vitamin K2, a key nutrient for keeping arteries clear. Meanwhile, an analysis by the European Food Safety Authority found alarming levels of mycotoxins and synthetic emulsifiers in popular processed cheeses, ingredients linked to chronic inflammation and metabolic dysfunction in older adults. So we're not just talking about calories or lactose. We're talking about real biochemical interactions that affect everything from bone formation to the risk of serious cardiovascular events. These details often go unnoticed, but they're exactly what determine whether you age with vitality or face a slow, silent decline. Before we move on to the good cheeses and the hidden dangers in the wrong choices, tell me something quickly in the comments. Where are you watching this video from? It's always amazing to see people from so many different places united by the same goal: living longer and better. If this kind of content makes sense to you, go ahead and hit that like button. It shows that it's worth continuing to bring serious and practical information like this. And of course, if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, now's the time. Here, you'll find evidence-based content, always delivered in a clear, straightforward way for people who value health without the fluff. You already understand how much the type of cheese you eat can impact your health. And from now on, you'll know exactly which ones are worth keeping on your plate and which ones you need to leave behind. Let's start with the allies, the 4 best cheeses for your body. The 4 cheeses your body silently thanks you for. 1. Parmigiano Reggiano, the silent protector of your arteries. If you could place a microscopic shield around your blood vessels, it would probably taste like Parmigiano Reggiano. This Italian cheese, made with just 3 ingredients, raw milk, salt, and rennet, goes through an aging process of up to 36 months, and that's where the secret lies. During this time, it develops a powerful concentration of vitamin K2, a nutrient that helps prevent calcium buildup in the arteries. Few people know this, but arterial calcification, that plaque that clogs vessels and leads to heart attacks and strokes, isn't just about cholesterol. It's also about poor calcium distribution in the body. Even better, since Parmigiano is aged for so long, its proteins break down into smaller particles, making it easier to digest. Even those with mild lactose intolerance often tolerate it well. This isn't just a cheese, it's a functional food hiding in plain sight. 2. Aged Gouda, the cheese with vascular superpowers. Aged Gouda is like a fine antique. The longer it matures, the more valuable it becomes for your body. In the lab, it's practically a natural pharmacy. Gouda has one of the highest natural concentrations of vitamin K2 among common foods. Studies show that people with high K2 intake have up to 52% lower risk of dying from cardiovascular disease. But that's not all. During the aging process, Gouda develops bioactive peptides that relax blood vessels and help regulate blood pressure. Its crumbly texture with crunchy crystals isn't a flaw. It's a sign of a high-quality functional cheese. Few people know this, and once you do, you'll never look at cheese the same way again. 3. Swiss Gruyere, balance that begins in your gut. If you've ever felt that your digestion changes depending on what you eat, this cheese deserves your attention. Gruyere, native to Switzerland, isn't just rich in highly bioavailable calcium and phosphorus. It also contains natural strains of probiotic bacteria developed through traditional fermentation. These bacteria become silent allies to your gut microbiome, strengthening digestion, immunity, and even aiding in the production of neurotransmitters like serotonin. Picture this: a food you enjoy eating that's quietly helping your body regulate mood, control inflammation, and maintain metabolic balance. The flavor? Slightly sweet, with nutty notes. A cheese that comforts, nourishes, and balances. A true bridge between pleasure and health. 4. Raw grass-fed cheddar. The cheese that speaks to your cells. When you hear cheddar, you might think of that orange fast food slice, but the cheddar your body recognizes as an ally is very different. It's made from raw milk from grass-fed cows. That detail, grass-fed, changes everything. Cows that graze naturally produce milk with a healthier fat profile, more omega-3s, more CLA, conjugated linoleic acid, and natural antioxidants. This translates to a cheese with real anti-inflammatory properties, and because it's made with raw milk, it retains enzymes and nutrients that are destroyed by industrial processing. It's a more complex, more vibrant cheese, and your body knows the difference. You might not feel it right away, but over time, the difference shows up in your lab results, your energy, and even your skin. Your body silently says, "Thank you." These are the 4 cheeses that deserve a special place in your diet. They don't just respect your body, they work for it. Now, if you've been surprised so far, get ready. What comes next might change your next trip to the grocery store, because some cheeses, no matter how innocent they seem, contain substances that can silently sabotage your health. The 4 cheeses you need to avoid if you want to age healthfully. 1. Processed cheese slices. A food that shouldn't even be called cheese. Those convenient slices that melt easily and are found in countless sandwiches. Most people don't realize they're not real cheese. Made from dairy byproducts, modified starches, artificial coloring, and emulsifiers, these slices are an ultra-processed chemical cocktail. A study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that frequent consumers of processed cheeses show increased systemic inflammation and altered lipid profiles, even when following an otherwise balanced diet. The biggest danger? The disguise. The flavor and texture mimic real cheese, fooling your taste buds and brain. But internally, you're feeding processes that lead to premature aging, visceral fat accumulation, and even insulin resistance. 2. Cheese spreads and industrial cream cheeses. Creamy on the outside, risky on the inside. The promise of creaminess hides an uncomfortable truth. These products are packed with synthetic thickeners, hydrogenated vegetable oils, and flavor enhancers like monosodium glutamate. You enjoy eating them, but your body pays the price. These cheeses disrupt satiety signals, trigger insulin spikes, and throw off hormones like leptin, which regulates hunger. What's more, studies show they negatively impact the gut-brain axis, affecting mood, energy levels, and sleep quality. 3. Pre-shredded and pre-sliced cheeses. Convenience that comes at a cost. Ever noticed how pre-shredded cheese never sticks together? That's because it's coated with powdered cellulose. Yes, a wood-derived fiber. This powder prevents clumping in the package, but when consumed regularly, it introduces a synthetic, insoluble fiber that can interfere with the absorption of key minerals like zinc and magnesium. Plus, many of these cheeses contain preservatives like natamycin, which, in excess, negatively affect gut microbiota. The result is silent, compromised digestion, persistent bloating, and unexplained fatigue, all from a technical detail that seems harmless. 4. Blue cheeses, fungi, mycotoxins, and underestimated risks. Blue cheeses like Roquefort and Gorgonzola carry a gourmet image. But if you're over 50, the risks may outweigh the benefits. These cheeses are made with specific fungal cultures. And while many are considered safe, reports of sensitivity to mycotoxins, toxins produced during fungal fermentation, are increasing. These compounds have been linked to cellular damage, liver dysfunction, and autoimmune reactions in predisposed individuals. Also, because they're high in biogenic amines like tyramine, they can trigger migraines, raise blood pressure, and subtly inflame the gut. And all this in a sophisticated cheese many consume without a second thought. These 4 cheeses, which might be sitting in your fridge right now, aren't just bad choices. They're hidden shortcuts to aging with more pain, less energy, and more doctor visits. The most dangerous part? They're silent, normal, daily. But now that you know this, everything changes. So now you know, some cheeses aren't just food. They're powerful allies to your health. They nourish your bones, protect your heart, support gut balance, and offer far more than flavor. Others, however, only pretend to be food. They're convenient, creamy, tasty, but they hide biochemical traps that disrupt your hormones, inflame your system, and speed up your body's natural wear and tear. The choice is literally on your plate. Starting today, you can look at cheese through a new lens, not just for the taste, but for the impact it has on your energy, your mental health, and how you age. Now tell me in the comments, which of these cheeses do you eat regularly? And which one are you planning to avoid from now on? If this information resonated with you, leave a like on this video. It helps us keep bringing science-backed content, delivered in the language of those who want to live well. No fluff. And if you know someone who still puts processed cheese on their plate thinking it's healthy eating, share this video with them. It might be the wake-up call they need. After all, changing a habit starts with one simple choice, like swapping out your cheese.